Tony.
Hey dude, what's up?
Play playlist, groove mix. Shuffle on. Play genre, hip-hop. Call Adriana.
Introducing Sync. Voice activate your MP3 player, Bluetooth phone, and more. Sync, powered by Microsoft, exclusively on new Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury vehicles.
Game number 500 for Joe Paterno as head coach at Penn State in front of a record crowd. Largest in Alamo Dome history. They sold some standing room spaces here. 66-166. Big interest with the Aggies involved. And wow, a couple of Michigan fans. Are they supporting the Big Ten here?
Little lost. No, I think this is just kind of a lingering effect. They played here a few years ago, right? And they forgot to go home.
On their way to the Capital One game.
I'm telling you, that salt on the river will do that to you.
It's a fun place to be. They got a few days to get down to Florida for the Wolverines against the Gators.
I got you. It was just a traveling deal, huh?
Talked about Joe Paterno, a native of Brooklyn, New York, and he is very proud of that. Many famous Brooklynites joining Joe Paterno. Barbra Streisand. Michael Jordan, actually born in Brooklyn before he headed to North Carolina. Larry King, Spike Lee, Woody Allen. That's a distinguished group, huh?
How about him talking about the Brooklyn stories of growing up and seeing guys like Babe Ruth play and Ted Williams and Leo DeRocher. Pee Wee Reese is a rookie. And I mean, this guy saw Babe Ruth play.
I know, it blew all of us away. Late in his career.
Look at all those names.
First, he watched Jackie Robinson play a lot. He was an usher at Ebbets Field there for the Brooklyn Dodgers a couple of years in high school. Goodson.
You know, Mary Tyler Moore was from Brooklyn, but she moved to New Rochelle, didn't she? In order to do a TV show?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, now we know that New Rochelle is the home of Ray Rice of Rutgers fame.
Absolutely.
And all that stuff.
You know, one of the great things about covering Penn State in the bowl game is you get to hang out with Joe and you get to hear the stories. He told us an hilarious story about another bowl game when the Lions were underdogs to Miami down there in the Fiesta Bowl '86 season that I'd never heard before. Remember the Hurricanes showed up in fatigues down there in Tempe, and Paterno said that there was a gathering where Jimmy Johnson, the Miami coach, had about 7, 8 guys, some of the biggest guys on the team, and Joe walked over one of the Miami players, undid the fatigue pants, and dropped him to the floor.
He pantsed a guy.
He pantsed
we cracked up. He pantsed a guy. He goes, you know, I'm waiting to see if the guy was really as, you know, strong as he thought he was.
He said, thankfully, the guy was wearing drawers. In other words, you had a real incident.
Oh, man. He'd have
never heard that story about that.
Love Joe.
How about the guy that got pantsed by Paterno? Where's he?
There's only one Joe.
Holy mackerel.
The Rose Bowl game, Illinois versus USC, New Year's Day at 4:30 Eastern on ABC.
It's that magical time of year. Get a special lease offer on a powerfully luxurious E350 sports sedan at the Mercedes-Benz Winter Event, now through January 2nd. There's never been a better time to get that Mercedes-Benz on your wish list.
In a world ruled by fear, a lone assassin.
It's him. He killed my partner.
Started a war.
You and I are gonna finish this.
Jet Li. Jason Statham. War. Own it on DVD and Blu-ray January 1st.
Capital One Bowl Week continues Monday with the Bell Helicopter Armed Forces Bowl and the Roadies Humanitarian Bowl. Then it's the Gaylord Hotel's Music City Bowl, followed by the Chick-fil-A Bowl.
Coming up on SportsCenter, the Pats on the verge of history. See how they pursued perfection. See the best of today's bowl action and is Neuheisel right for UCLA? Plus, who fell among college hoops undefeated? SportsCenter after the game.
Okay, give me my remote.
Get it, Jim. You had way too much cable.
You said you were going to get DirecTV. I'm fine, really. So digital picture doesn't mean anything to you? But what about your friends and your family?
I just want to watch the game. That's the cable talking, Jim. That game isn't even in HD.
Friends don't let friends watch cable. Refer a friend or family member to DirecTV, and you'll get $50, and they'll get $50 on top of our best offer.
Lions back at top by 7 at the Valero Alamo Bowl. Start of the fourth quarter, Penn State up 24-17. Lions own the clear edge statistically. A couple of turnovers for Penn State, cashed into 10 points by A&M. Lions have produced just 7 points out of the 3 Aggie turnovers. There's a look.
That is a look. Is that Craig?
I like that
Second
straw
and 11.
hat. I like the straw hat.
Important possession for the Aggies to begin this fourth quarter. And the pass batted down. That was Sean Lee blitzing up the middle.
Don't you think, though, that the Aggies, if you'd have told them during this week of preparation that if you could enter the fourth quarter 24-17 in the game, that they'd have been fairly happy with that?
I think so. I think they just want to know that they're coming out and playing a 60-minute football game. They're going to be in it to the end and have an opportunity to win. The problem is they just had a receiver wide open and the ball gets batted. It just seems like they're misfiring just by a hair, but they have the ability to throw the ball and run it. They've proven that already.
3rd and 11. Pierre Brown in motion. They flip it back to Goodson on the near side. He's got some room. Gets a block at the corner. Won't get the first down. Good pursuit. Serrato and Mark Rubin, the 2 safeties, along with A.J. Wallace.
That ball's on the front shoulder. Goodson has an opportunity to get that first down. Instead, he has to adjust to catch the ball, slows him down a step or 2, and he comes up a few yards short.
You know, when you watch Penn State here tonight in person, you get a feel for why they're upset with the record that they had. This team is fast, it's physical, talented.
The skill they have at the receiver position, I'm astounded. You know, the ability to get open, catch the ball, move with the ball after the catch.
Brantley, a low kick. Serrato sidesteps the first man and dives across the 30. Short return. Capital One Bowl Week featuring 20 games in 12 days. ESPN family of networks. Couple of games on New Year's Eve. Kentucky against the depleted Seminoles at 4 o'clock, and then Clemson and Auburn, the Chick-fil-A Bowl in Atlanta. Be lots of fans from both teams inside the Georgia Dome. It's at 7:30 Eastern. Capital One Bowl Week Monday, a doubleheader.
Big week. We travel out west to get ready for the Rose Bowl coming up.
Yeah, Illinois, the biggest underdog in the entire bowl season. Certainly happy to be there. We'll see if they can, quit themselves well against a very good USC team.
We had a little taste of what USC looks like when they're healthy. Now they've had a month.
Yeah, Thanksgiving night.
They've had a month to get extremely healthy.
Scary, wasn't it, on defense? This is Evan Royster. Well, he will throw on first down, or try to. Pressured Lobs it down for his tight end, Corliss, incomplete. And reporting that Rodney Kinlaw is okay. It was an injury to the upper part of his right rib cage, but he has not come back in the ball game yet.
Yeah, that's why when you have somebody in the depth of an Evan Royster, you know, you got to have two guys who can carry the football and you don't lose anything with it.
Royster trots out, and Darrell Clark, backup quarterback in the game, as well as Morelli. We've shown this a few times. Now it's a little bit of a round. Morelli will shift out to the receiver position. This has all been runs by Clark so far with this look. And it is again. Zone read to the left, but only about 3.
I'm with you, Doug, though. Why is Morelli staying in the game? I mean, are we looking for a lateral pass? Are we looking for something?
Well, I've been looking for that, and I kind of realized maybe why. I don't know this for a fact, but Morelli's still calling the play in the huddle. Maybe it's because of the transition in the huddle, and you don't want any mess-ups in the play calling and all that with the backup. I assume Clark can get in the huddle and call plays, but Morelli's still kind of running the show out there, even though the other guy's a quarterback.
It's Chris Harrington down for the Aggies as we take a look at the Penn State offensive brain trust. They'll face a 3rd and 7 when we come back.
On New Year's Eve, this athlete attempts to jump a football field end zone to end zone. New Year, no limits. New Year's Eve on ESPN.
It's that magical time of year. Come to the Mercedes-Benz Winter Event now through January 2nd and test drive the all-new 2008 C-Class starting at $31,975. There's never been a better time to get that Mercedes-Benz on your wish list.
Introducing the Samsung Juke.
Hey!
Samsung, leading the music phone revolution.
Hurry up, kids!
Going nowhere with expired credit card miles? Whew. Get Capital One's no hassle rewards with no miles expiration, no earn caps, and no blackout dates.
You should switch to Capital One.
What's in your wallet?
Hi, we're from Nacogdoches, Texas, but we're huge Penn State fans.
Happy holidays to Penn State fans everywhere. We are Penn State!
It's got to be a small alumni club from Nacogdoches, isn't it?
Hey, I'm from Alto. When I was a little boy, my family brother still lives there. It's 20 miles west of Nacogdoches.
Not many Penn State fans growing up.
Never saw anybody from Penn State drive through town.
Well,
how far is that from civilization?
Hey, all right. You come visit us. We'll show you some civilization.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking. Can you, what else?
I don't know if they can understand Joe and Nacogdoches and them. They can't understand in Brooklyn the Nacogdoches folks.
Nope.
3rd and 7. Morelli drops back. Fires to Williams, short of a first down. Good job by Devin Gray. They were tracking number 2. Lions will have to punt.
Greg did a nice job of sitting back in his zone and just reacting up to the crossing route. Where they were crossing routes underneath that are usually good against a man coverage rather than a zone coverage.
Williams with 5 catches, but averaging less than 8 yards per catch. Jeremy Boone Excellent night punting. Penn State #1 in the Big Ten in net punting. And this is another boomer. Roger Holland mishandles it inside the 5 and will be dropped down near the 1. Mental mistake by the true freshman returner. And A.J. Wallace joined by Justin King on the coverage. Awful field position for A&M. The second time tonight they'll start at the 1.
Right before the snap of the ball, I'm thinking to myself, we haven't had a big play really happen in the special teams tonight. This is a big play. It's a big play for Penn State.
Well, once you start bobbling that ball, it would have been to his advantage to keep bobbling it, get in the end zone, and just fall in the end zone and take it out to the 20. Not that you're thinking that way, but he bobbles that ball one more time. He's in the end zone there at the 20-yard line.
Jeremy Boone has been a difference maker tonight, punting very well for Penn State. Now the Aggies in back at their 1. Down by 7. Goodson behind Chris Alexander, the fullback. They'll throw. McGee incomplete. It was Alexander wide open in the flat, too tall.
Those are big yards coming off your own goal line.
Absolutely, man. Especially first down. Now you're second to 10. You want a
second
first and
short,
second 5 would be great.
Off of goal line.
Let me ask you a question. Stephen McGee in high school was a very prolific passer at Burnett, Texas. Got to the state championship game a couple of times. So he's not a runner by instinct. He became a runner because that was asked for him. Next year, Mike Sherman comes in. You would figure certainly the Aggies would go to a more passing offense. Is McGee equipped to run that in his senior year?
He can throw the football, but it has to start from day 1 when you start playing football. You can't just pull it out in week 14.
Empty backfield from the 1. McGee has the speed to get out of trouble. Gets back to the 5.
But you know what? When you think about that and you ask that question, you know, it really is all about timing, and it takes a whole season to get used to it.
Here's our Valero game track. You saw Evan Royster scamper up the middle. That's the touchdown that put Penn State in front 24-17. The Aggies face a third down.
Don't you agree about the passing?
Absolutely, and I think he can do it. I really believe that he's been in a focused situation where he's running that option stuff and running with the ball a lot, and they don't focus on the passing attack. He has the tools and the ability to do it, but you're right, it's from day 1.
McGee, there's a precise throw and a big conversion. A first down at the 19. E.J. Schenkel in front of Lydell Sargent.
And you know what he'll use to his advantage next year with a more passing, balanced offense is the ability for his legs to give him time to throw the ball and to create opportunities.
Right. When you start to move, when you're a passer, when you start to move, you're buying time. You're staying behind the line of scrimmage and looking for the big play up the field. When you're a runner and you start to move, you're thinking, get 8 yards, get 5 yards, I'm going to bust this, and you take off in those creases. The guys that get a lot of yards passing move around to buy time and get the big play in the passing game.
It's Goodson in motion. He'll take the pitch from McGee. And good pursuit. Lee combining on the stop with Josh Hull. It's a loss of about 4. There is Gerard Johnson, though, guys, a 6'6" freshman. They've been calling him the next Vince Young, another product of the Houston area who's expected to compete with McGee. You would certainly think he'd have the edge and experience and leadership coming next year, but there'll be Aggie fans who want to see what Gerard Johnson can do at quarterback.
He came into a couple of ball games and threw 1 or 2 balls, and he scrambled around for 10 seconds and threw one up for the end zone, ends up a touchdown. It looks like a great play.
Oh, he hasn't had a lot of success. He's only 2 for 7 this year, but going forward with spring practice and all, he's got undeniable talent. McGee flips it to Goodson. Lee tries to chase him down. Instead, he strings the play out.
Was
Wallace to force him out.
Was that the safety, the corner, the hero, or the Fritz that ran him out? We got a fundraising idea for all of you out here. Now, when you look, you see the corners and you see linebackers and all this. Well, at Penn State, they don't call it a Will. They call it a Fritz. They don't call the middle linebacker a Mike. They call him a backer. And they don't call the strong safety a strong safety. He's a hero. And they all have Penn State relevance, right? So
Okay.
why not go out and say, hey, look, to fundraising to your alums. Look here, we'll name something after you. We need a new wing over in that athletic place. Give me $1 million and we'll call it the Joe Smith.
Joe Smith is now the free safety position.
Don't think somebody's not contemplating that in this day and age. 3rd and 11. McGee pressured immediately. Flushed. Fired short on the sidelines. Caught. They're signaling a catch by Bennett. So Martellus Bennett collecting his 4th reception and another clutch completion on Tom Bradley's defense, and the Aggies move the chains.
And to continue with that point, the Fritz came from their pizza man back in the 50s. They decided he's such a good guy to the program, we're going to name a position after him.
But that was by number 40, Dan Connor, who is not Mike. He's the backer.
He's just backer.
The backer may need to go get him a Fritz.
Well, somebody else walks in that huddle and hears backer, they will say, which one? No, he's just the backer.
He's the backer.
And that's the middle guy.
Yeah.
Fritz is the weak side guy. He's the pizza man.
He's not Will.
Galen almost talking about, he remembers Fritz the pizza man back in the 60s at State College. McGee waits for Lane to come open in the middle, and they'll get about 7.
But could you imagine some alum, sitting up there all proud that, yeah, the weak safety position's named after me. Not just sponsoring that scholarship, but it's named, the quarterback position is named after me.
Well, we need big money for that.
That's exactly what we need, is more commercials. Side Judge has been knocked to the ground. Member of this Conference USA crew.
Side Judge is Greg Shields. Up and moving.
Showing that toughness.
But it is an idea, though, guys. I mean, I like the Fritz, the hero, and,
An idea to sell to boosters the name of the position.
It's memorable.
There's not enough commercialization in this sport.
Hey, there are a lot of athletic departments that need some moolah. Speaking of commercialization.
Yeah, our sponsor Valero, the game track. Aggies jump to a 14-0 lead. Pair of Goodson touchdowns. Lions' answer was 17 points. It was a Goodson fumble that set up their 2nd touchdown. Royster, the freshman, in relief, gave him a 24-17 lead. And now the Aggies marched 7 plays. There's a sideline warning this. That's why the side judge went down. He ran into a member of the Penn State staff. Please don't tell me we're going to have another incident with the sideline
He's
getting
reaching
involved.
for the flag on the ground. Nice effort, buddy. Yeah. I'm laying on the ground. You have to keep the white part open. The first 3 yards on the sideline are for the official to run north and south up and down that sideline. The coaches are in the area beyond that from 3 to 6 yards, and the players are supposed to be all the way back behind the 6-yard marker, but everybody creeps up.
They don't get any yardage. It's just a sideline warning. It's Evan Royster, running back, who touchdown, ran into the side judge over there. Now he's trying to hide. See him back here? McGee with the keeper. First down. Cross midfield to the 40.
You notice that McGee didn't duck that shoulder that he's going to have surgery on. He's got a little separation there. Kind of ran into him.
You know what? He's done a phenomenal job in this drive, keeping it alive with his feet, scrambling, getting some key completions. Now taking off and running there. He had a little shovel pad, a little dump over the middle, making plays to move. It hasn't been pretty this drive, but he's making plays to move the chains.
That's the band of brothers wristband that McGee came up with. It's DeClough on first down. Wanted to take a shot downfield, had nobody open. Now just throw it away. Keep an eye on this Penn State defense in this possession. Remember, the Aggies began back at their 1-yard line, and defensive fatigue for a unit that's very thin, especially up front, to be a factor. It's not easy to play in a dome. Players talk about the fatigue, the lack of oxygen in an indoor place real late in the game.
It is real, especially for the big guys. The big guys have a hard time with it.
I always sweated more inside. I couldn't figure that out. You know, whether you're playing the Colts or you're playing in the Astrodome.
There's no breeze, right? There's no.
I was a quarterback. You stand there, you hand the ball to you and let you do the work. I don't know. But I just know the big guys were sweating.
I'd look up there and I'd see on the screen 72 degrees. Nice, cool afternoon. I'd be sweating profusely.
McGee will run. Picks up about 7 to the Lions' 34-yard line. Well, Penn State's defense certainly did wear down in the fourth quarter of that game at Michigan State in the finale.
And you know where you see it? It's on the defensive line, and you see it in the lack of pursuit. That's when you can tell when a defense is gassed.
That's what I'm talking about. The quarterback doesn't have to work that hard all day. Now he's running around while the other guys are tired and making plays. I'll tell you what, a couple plays ago on the scramble, McGee had an opportunity to go deep to carry Frank's running the backside post route. He just couldn't get his feet set to make that throw.
Third and 3. Goodson is the tailback. They fake it to him. McGee fires short. Alexander, the fullback, has a first down to the 27. It is over in the Meadowlands. History for the Patriots as we check back with Reese Davis.
Yes, Chris, perfection, at least the regular season version, attained. The Patriots beat the Giants 38-35. Tom Brady setting a record for touchdown passes in a season. Randy Moss setting a record for touchdown catches in a season. Full highlights, post-game reaction, everything you want to know on SportsCenter after the game.
Reese, thank you. Giants finishing 10-6. On third down in this drive, 3 for 3, and now they're set up at the Penn State 26. Goodson has a crease. Mike Goodson shimmies down near the 10-yard line for a first down. Is that defense wearing down big time now?
The results of this play are because of what happened the play before when the zone read was run and McGee pulled it and went up the middle. Watch the inside. Watch the pursuit that looks in here to the right for McGee. Opens up Goodson.
Everything is sealed off. He gets the outside easily, and then he starts north-south, and he makes the defender miss with quickness and still heading up the field. Cuts it close, so he has an opportunity to break it.
13th play of the drive that began at the 1-yard line. Goodson bounces it and takes a loss. Good play by Philip Taylor.
Little Barry Sanders jump stop there. A little
4 yards to the right. I had a chance to visit with Goodson this summer. He came over here to passing championship at College Station. Really nice young man. You remember, Chris, this is the guy that had the anterior cruciate ligament injury at the end of last season.
Right.
Worked really hard. Obviously, he's come back and had a strong season.
It's always a concern for a running back. Will he ever get that burst back, right, after an ACL injury? Keandre Smith to the left of McGee, replacing Mike Goodson. McGee keeps it. Leans down inside the 5. Sean Lee on the stop one more time.
Just another great read.